All right, now it's time for Compas on the LA.
Chum, chum,
Gilbert,
chum.
Chargers make the playoffs. What do you think? They clinched the playoff spot. You know what? Before I give it to you, I was surprised because usually the Chargers would wait until the last game of the season. Things would unravel, but this year it seemed. And I asked Brandon a couple of weeks ago, point blank, like, what do you feel like you've learned from the last year where it was just you guys couldn't get out of your own way, you guys couldn't put this away. What did you learn from yourself and the team? And he explained what they had learned, and it seems like they have learned from their mistakes. They're 3-0. The defense playing hard. They have like 14 sacks in the last 3 games. They've taken the ball away 5 times. They're the defense playing really well right now for the Chargers. The offense that's a little worrisome. But what did you make of them?
Yeah, I think Robert Sala likes saying these kind of like these quotes about everybody wants something quickly, like the instant coffee or the microwave era. And that's what I think about here with Brandon Staley, because we forget, like for me, my I always say coaches and also young quarterbacks deserve 3 years. But you want to start seeing the growth and the improvement, the flashes of the future being bright around this time here, a year and a half. He's in the middle point. And for a long time, people weren't even giving him a chance to get to the middle point. Sean Payton rumors, this defense is terrible. Justin Herbert's taking a step back. Like it felt like he only got 1 year and that was it. So to people who are not, patient, L on you guys. I want to say for me, I'll take a little L because I was starting to get really impatient with this defense. I'm like, you're Brandon Staley, you're supposed to be a defensive guru, and you're not seeing the flashes. Maybe it was a little late to see it, but the last 3 weeks, we need to play your best football. Without your best defensive player, or two actually, Joey Bosa and Derwin James not being on the field, and you're playing like this. I know Derwin was on the field for a little bit. We'll get into that later. But to be shutting teams. I know it's the Colts, but they played the Dolphins, they played the Titans. That was the great 3 game stretch. You could disagree there for me if you want to, Fernando, but I have not seen a stretch like that of defense under the Staley era, and you're finally seeing it. Yes, there's issues with Justin Herbert and that offense, the coaches mainly. We could get into that. But for Staley, I think take a victory lap. He's doing the cat and the cow pose, the yoga poses. Do what you want, man, because you're finally doing what you wanted to do, and you're seeing the signs. And imagine when Derwin and Joey are in there together, healthy, should be better.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. What do you think? Do you think they could? I've been saying it. I was on a radio show earlier, and they asked me how far can this team go, and I said once you get into the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. Anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can get on a run. And they're like, "What do you think they could get on a run?" I'm like, "Yeah, if they can fix their offensive issues within the next 2 weeks." And maybe start doing different things differently, and the defense plays hard. They get Joey back. I think they can make a run. I mean, you just never know in the playoffs. Just because teams can get hot, they're getting hot right now. So you just never know.
It's tough because I feel like there's different like tiers here. Like I really think the
Exactly.
Bengals, the Bills, and the Chiefs on their own level. And
Yeah.
I think the Chargers are somewhere in that middle, but they're close enough to compete where they're gonna push one of these 3 teams if they face them. But I don't think they're gonna win that game. But like you said, it's
No.
only one game. You never know what happens. If they play the Bengals are probably the hottest team in the AFC. Last year, I went to Cincinnati and the Chargers, lit up the Bengals and they won that game. I know last year, but that's maybe something there. The Chiefs, you play them twice a year. You usually keep it close. Maybe you feel like mentally you could keep up with that team. The Bills, they have no history with them, so I don't know what will happen with that one. But I don't think they could catch the Ravens. Right, the Ravens are probably a 1 game ahead. Who knows?
They're one game ahead, but we don't. They still don't. They haven't said anything about Lamar. Nobody knows when Lamar's going to come back.
That team is
Heck, I
just
wouldn't
well
even come
coached.
back.
They keep winning though. I don't know. I
I
don't.
know.
The Steelers. Why is that? By the way,
By the
yeah,
way, the
I
fact
know.
that they moved that game to Sunday night, I would have rather Panthers
Yeah,
and Tampa Bay.
something else. I don't even. They don't even know Lamar's gonna play. But anyways, if they get to that spot, they could definitely beat the Jaguars. But it's gonna be a tricky spot. But you never know what this time of year something can happen. But I'm excited if they're playing the Bengals, the Chiefs, or the Bills in the wild card. It's gonna be a really good game,
I
regardless.
completely agree. Gilbert, my take from the Rams blowout against the Broncos is Baker Mayfield. Under no circumstances should you leave the LA Rams.
Mm.
Whether it's as a backup to Matthew Stafford, whether it's as a starter, whether it's whatever, you need to stay on this team. You need to relearn how to be a quarterback. You need to, like, you know how Coach Bombay in Mighty Ducks, he has to go rethink and go through his journey and find himself as a coach. That's exactly what Baker Mayfield needs to do. He needs to find himself as a quarterback. It is working what's going on right now in with the Rams. I know he's 2-1, I believe, as the Rams
Yeah.
quarterback, or well, 1-1, I guess, but I'm calling it 2-1. Um,
Which
I
one you're
think he
not
needs to
counting?
the Raiders because he didn't start,
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah,
but he won
forgot
it.
about
No, but I count it. I count it.
yeah.
I'm just for the logistics people. Baker Mayfield, you need to stay. You need to stay as a backup. Take 1 year. Maybe who knows? Maybe Matthew Stafford decides not to come back, and you're the guy. But you need to relearn how to be a quarterback. With Sean McVay, you could do that. You could be maybe his quarterback of the future, and they can keep on saying F them picks and go trade it for other guys. But I really do think Baker Mayfield would make huge strides by staying with the Rams 1 more year and then decide what you want to do. In 1 more year, you decide, you know what, I want to go be a quarterback somewhere else. Cool. You just cannot leave right now. You need to do 1 year under Sean McVay to relearn how to be a good quarterback. And I think that would be smart for his future.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't really know Sean McVay's future either. Like,
Exactly.
you see reports out there, but I really feel like from talking to the guy that he really like he's taken this lump, this learning lesson year, and I think it's really kind of come to at least appreciate it now that they're
Yeah.
winning and they're playing tough. So maybe he'll stick around. But yes, Baker Mayfield should at least stay and be the backup because you never know what can happen to Stafford. Maybe Stafford's gone in a year and you're already the system with McVay and you're ready to go and you got some good players like Cooper Cup. So he's done it already. He tried the fast route to kind of be the starter with the Panthers. It didn't work. So maybe for him, he looks like a guy who's just enjoying it. I think he likes being in the locker room too, so people like him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just says, "Hey, you know what? There's probably some money over there, and maybe an opportunity to start quicker, but I like it here." And he's been hanging out with Lincoln Riley too, and the USC coach. So it's all here for him. So we'll see what he does, and it'll be a kind of a nice little luxury backup for the Rams if he decides to stay and take less money too.